Hey guys, and welcome to the fifth video in this series. Today we're gonna be covering how to make our paint look more appealing. As you saw, our paint was pretty functional. It displayed the information it needed to display, but it was, as well as functional, it was quite dull. It wasn't too appealing to the eye. And today we're going to be seeing how to make it more fun to watch, more appealing, more interesting. And for that we're going to be using a pretty awesome tool developed by Enfilade at rspot.org. I'll link to the thread of this application below. And this application is so good to make paints easily. I like coding the paints manually, but this makes it much easier and not only much easier to make the paint, but much easier to make it appealing. Of course, when you want to add your variables and you want to display your information, you have to code your variables into the paint manually. But this still is pretty awesome to make appealing paints. So for example, if we wanted to make a rectangle here, we want to fill it with gray color, semi-transparent. We just lower the alpha a bit, select a grayish color, and select a stroke of 1, for example, and we make the rectangle. And that's our rectangle. And that's so easy to do, yet it looks pretty awesome. Then we can unfill. Okay, it doesn't work with the text, but not select fill, not select stroke, whatever you want. We can add texts, for example, I minor version 1.0. We can select a different font, for example, this one. And here you can see a preview of the text you're going to write. So if you don't like that one, we can go to a different one. This one, for example. A nice size. And if you don't like it, you simply select this layer and delete it, and that's it. You can go for a different color. Just that one. Maybe you like that better. And you simply add it there. That's it. And again, you can now switch to different informal Roman, for example, and go to runtime. And you will then modify that string individually, manually, to add the code, to add the variables. I'll go through that in a moment. Runtime, we've got experience gained, and also ores mined. And of course, the location of your strings isn't too important yet. You can modify that manually. And that's it. You can add images even. Polygons, lines, rectangles, rounded rectangles, circles, or ovals. So practically you can do everything there is in Java with this tool. And then once you've finished, when you like this your paint, you go to File, Generate Code, and here you've got your code. Just copy everything, or you select that, and we return to our script, and we paste this. And here comes the more complicated part, and it's that Enfilade gives us the on repaint as well. So what we want to do is actually copy this part only and paste it here. That's what we wanted to do. And now we can delete all of this. but we still have to import basic stroke. And now, of course, we should include the code generated using Enfilade's easel. Just because the tool is so awesome, we should give credit to the author. And we also have to import graphics 2G. And do that. So basically we're creating a 2D graphics object instead of a normal graphics object. That's to draw strokes we need a 2D graphics object. So that's why the tool uses graphics 2D. And here we are. Now notice that we drew string I minor version 1.0 at the x coordinate 238. And then we drew runtime at 254, experience gained at 254, and Ors Mind was drawn at 255, obviously because we cannot control very well our mouse, so we can simply put it at 254 again. And here the runtime, now we have to add hours, minutes, seconds, and experience gained. We write x gained, and simply, just like we did before manually, now we can modify this, and the font and the size and the location, everything will remain the same. And here we are, Ors Mind. That's it. We can now play around with the x values if we think they're going to be the strings are going to be too long, for example, that sort of stuff. And now the only thing remaining is to test it out. So let's save this and go to src, copy, paste, compile. And let's try out how this looks. First of all, I should close that one though. And compile again. So now we're done. Let's run RSpot. And now we're going to see a difference in quality of our paint. And as I said, all thanks to Enfilade for creating such an awesome tool to use. So if we go in, run the script, notice how now this is a bit better. But I forgot to cast to integer the experience per hour and Ors per hour, and now notice how it's all a bit too long and decimal places. We have to turn this into a bit more to the left, so we have to subtract a bit in terms of x coordinate. Let's do that right now. We convert to integers, we cast into integers this and this. We move the I minor version 1.0 a bit to the left, just 5 pixels more, not too much. We don't want it to appear outside of this box. And that's it. So now we stop this, save it again, paste it here in the scripts and recompile, and now we try it again. We put this here, and we play around with this with the location and coordinates a bit until we find something that's satisfactory. So let's wait for this to load up. There we go. And that's much better now. Okay, so that's that. I hope you learned something. Maybe you didn't know about Enfilade's easel, which is that paint tool. And if you didn't, then go check out the link below in the description box. And yeah, and remember to subscribe and comment on the rspot thread, both for me and for Enfilade. And just I'll see you in the next video.